Hi guys, I don't have anything on the whiteboard because I don't know what to put, so bear with me. I want to talk about Jojo Siwa. I want to talk about Jojo Siwa. And I want to preface this by saying, don't, send hate to anyone. Don't send hate to Jojo Siwa. Whatever. Whoever I talk about, again, do not send hate, don't go attack or anything, just don't. I don't want that. I just want to talk about it. Don't do anything rash. And let's get into it. So recently, Howie Mandel interviewed Jojo Siwa on his podcast, and what came up was weird. So let's watch it. We'll see. We'll see what's up.
Are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
This is the first time that I've talked about this, so I just want to make sure I say my exact piece that I want to say. The internet can take a lie.
Jojo already. Like, whoa. Second sentence in? What the fuck? I'm gonna try not to bash her as much because I'll explain later why. But that's kind of, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
And run so far with it. So far that it's to the point where you just can't do anything about it.
I think that this is semi-applicable. I'm gonna give a little context. There was a clip of Colleen supposedly wearing blackface at a live thing, but it was not blackface, it was green paint, and it was supposed to be like a parody of Wicked, the musical. So she was not doing blackface at the time, but once people were spreading around the pictures and the video and saying that it was blackface, even though that we have proof that it wasn't, no matter what, someone is gonna say that she did blackface, even she didn't. I'm not defending her because she is absolutely evil, but I have to put out the fact that she did not do blackface. So with this, the law, this is kind of applicable. There was a not even a lie. People thought that it was blackface and then got out, and then you kind of can't take it back. You can't do anything about it anymore. But what Jojo Siwa was talking about here is about everything, even things of hard fucking evidence, screenshots, videos, victims showing such hard evidence of everything, and literally Jojo Siwa is just denying it, saying that it was just a lie. It was just a silly little lie that was taken a little too far. No. There's no.
And I've had that happen to me.
I cannot think of when this happened to her, but I'm not caught up on the Jojo Siwa drama, so I don't know what this is referencing to. Maybe someone tell me in the comments, because I've looked at all the Jojo Siwa drama and I can't find exactly what this would be about. You know what it might be about, though? I'll talk about it later. I'm sorry.
And I know Colleen very, very, very well, and I think the work that Colleen has done for the internet is incredible.
Jojo, okay, we can all have our own opinions. If you think that Colleen's work is incredible and amazing and on the internet, then you can. But is that relevant to the allegations? This is criminal, stuff, grooming and pedophilia and relations to minors as a 30-year-old. This is not okay. And no matter, even if she made I don't know, the best video on the internet, that does not excuse the fact that she did this messed up, terrible shit, and then followed up that with a goddamn ukulele. I don't care. And her work isn't even incredible. I'm gonna say it's not incredible, it's not amazing. It's just this character that in itself is weird, because she's literally basically cosplaying as someone who is disabled, but she's not disabled. She has ADHD. She's made a whole video about ADHD, and I myself have ADHD. That also does not excuse this at all. ADHD does not make you groom people, okay? Okay, we agree. I myself don't know if ADHD is considered a mental disability. She has never claimed that she can't be ableist because she has ADHD, but I'm saying I've been seeing people say that it's okay. It isn't, it's not. Anyways, I got distracted. Let's keep going.
I think her creativity is incredible.
What creativity? Tell me what creativity. Calling a vagina Tukey, that's creative. That is like an actual 4-year-old would say that. And her creativity, I mean, her old work, like before she was like a weirdo, maybe. I haven't seen her old work, but I heard that it wasn't terrible. But I don't think that's what Jojo's talking about, because at that time Jojo was like, I don't even know, 6? Jojo didn't know her at that time, and Jojo's definitely talking about Miranda Sings right now, saying that Miranda Sings is incredible, amazing, creative. Like, no, it's not.
Miranda Sings is a character, is a comedian, and I think that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you as you're a real human behind that character.
I don't know what she's saying here. I think what she's saying is, I don't even know. I don't know. I have no idea.
And I think being a comedian is very hard because you were able to do things years ago that were okay, and now that we've grown and we've matured, we've realized that they're not okay. You know what I mean?
I get that, but they apologize. That's the difference, okay? That's the difference. And they apologize in a good way, you know? And they grow from their mistakes, and they take accountability. Literally, none of those things is on the roster for what Miranda Sings or Colleen Ballinger has done. Literally none. Nothing. She's done none of those things. She did one YouTube apology, and it was like mid. It was not even worth, like, it was your average YouTuber apology that doesn't really mean anything. So seriously, that has no validity in this conversation. Being like, it's hard though, like, it's hard because, you know, like, can you not?
How is it for you now being her friend and reading some of what we read? Do you think it's all a lie? Do you think it's, like, have you talked to her?
There have been a lot of people on the internet who have gotten hit with this cancellation.
You're deflecting the question at this point. What does that have to do with anything?
And a lot of them I know, some of them I don't know. And I look at it and I see that this is a sensitive subject.
No shit. No goddamn fucking shit.
Somebody who is affected by any sort of anything having to do with adults and I mean for real grooming. For real grooming.
What do you mean real grooming? What do you mean real grooming? You know what's real grooming? Colleen Ballinger, okay? What do you mean?
It's a very sensitive thing.
Are you friends with Colleen?
And that's the end of the video. I'm gonna go to the actual podcast, see if like there's any context that I need, if there's anything that I missed, see if she actually like dwells upon what the fuck she's talking about. So let's go. We'll see. Hopefully, you know, we'll find something out, because Lord have mercy. This is taking a million years to load. And this Jojo is like so hesitant.
Are you, and if I'm wrong, are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
Yeah,
What do you say about that?
I've known Colleen since I was 12.
Okay, so we are just, you know, given context. So, you know, this wasn't in the TikTok, but she says, like, I've known her since I was 12, which is already, like, 12 years old. And Colleen Ballinger at the time was in her 30s, I think, or late 20s. Like,
It's tough. It's
Colleen, what was the name of the character?
Miranda Sings.
Miranda Sings. My other daughter went to all the concerts and everything, and she's getting accused of things.
Yes.
Which we don't have to talk about that she's accused of, but
Always been nothing but kind to me. Her family, nothing but kind to me. And
dude, this is lagging so hard. Maybe there's a reason it was on such low quality. Hopefully this helps.
But you, as somebody who's been in the public eye for a long time,
Yes.
do you think that it is appropriate to communicate openly with everybody that reaches out to you?
no, I don't think that communicating with fans is, you got to be careful to not.
Jojo is like, at this point, I think she's like, it's hard to say. I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying.
To
Like,
not blur a friend-fan line. It's very tough.
and here's my question to you. Regardless of judging whatever specifically is being said that was happening, and I'm just saying this as a parent again. You said you started communicating with her when you were 12.
Yes.
Is it, you want to
But
be
you
a
guys
parent?
were in the same industry.
So we were
too.
in the
like,
same-
you guys were making videos and stuff together.
So
right?
we actually met because on Dance Moms,
Mhm.
you know Tadra Hall?
Yes.
So on Dance Moms, Tadra Hall had a party and invited the Dance Moms cast, and 4 of the girls went, and they discluded myself and Nia, who's another girl on the show. And we all knew Tadra, so we were fine with that. But then Colleen, as Miranda, surprised the girls. And me and Nia were devastated because we were massive fans, and we loved Colleen and we loved Miranda. And then when the episode came out, Colleen saw how upset me and Nia were. And she reached out to Holly and was like, I would love to like make this up to you guys. She was like, I was wondering where Jojo and Nia were. Like, I had no idea that this was the case. Like, please, like.
That, I don't know. I think if it wasn't Colleen and it was like an actual like good person, this would be okay. It would be kind of sus, and I feel like in this moment Colleen is like, oh, I was like looking for you guys. Like I was like wondering where you were. Like, but like were you actually? And I don't know. I think it's weird.
Like, whatever you guys want, like, I just want to make the kids happy. Like, I just want Jojo and Nia to not be sad anymore. And so we ended up going to dinner with Colleen, and it was me and my mom and Nia and Holly. And Colleen was telling me that night about YouTube and how her whole family did it and how it was awesome and she vlogs her life. And that night is when I went home and I made my YouTube channel and decided.
Like, okay, that's like cool and stuff. If like Miranda or fucking Colleen, you know, inspired you to be a YouTuber, like that's cool, whatever. But like, I don't know. There's like this line. Jojo was so young. And like you, as a young person, you can look up to and like love like older people on the internet. But those older people have the responsibility to draw a line. And another thing is like, why couldn't this have just been like a little meetup instead of like an actual like go to a restaurant, you know, like, or figured out like some way to like have or like next meet and greet have like already pay for Jojo or something, like something that's not so personal. Because when I don't know, maybe I'm just looking too much into this. I don't know.
Going to be my career essentially. And
That's a wonderful, sweet, appropriate story.
yes.
How is it for you now being her friend and reading some of what we read? Do you think it's all a lie? Do you think it's like, have you talked to her?
There have been a lot of people on the internet who have gotten hit with this cancellation. And a lot of them
We've
I know,
already seen this
some of-
part. I mean, basically, she's just like, it's all a lie. Tee-hee. Like, why are you saying that? With, like, seriously.
Really young people reaching out to you now.
I mean, I do. And it's funny. Like, I realized when I hit 18, I was like, oh, this is different now. Like, cause
Right.
you know, you're young and you're dumb. And I was like, I need to be very careful about this.
Like I know like her daughter's 9.
Yeah.
If she could right now and she
Write
watches
to you and talk to you. Like
all
she
that
would.
she would,
She
and,
would,
and
yeah.
she would love to be your friend and
Yeah.
love to be online.
And I'm sure you want to reach out to your fans and be like, hey,
Yeah.
and give that back to them since they're such big fans of you.
The difference with Colleen and I is
Yeah.
we were, once I became her friend and she became my friend and
Mhm.
she became somebody that I looked up to. She became somebody that I idolized. She became somebody that I was like, wow, this person is a hard worker. She's a genius. She's
When that adult knows that they have this power over you, when they know that you idolize them, when they know that you look up to them an incredible amount, there is a power imbalance. And that's where grooming can really, you know, show. And that's how groomers, you know, prey. Like, seriously. I'm gonna say this right now. I think Jojo at this moment, I think she's still being manipulated by Colleen right now. Jojo is obviously still in touch with her, and everything that she's saying, I genuinely feel is stuff that Colleen is telling her to say or encouraging her to say. You know, I can't be too mad at Jojo for this because, you know, of course, I feel like that she could also be a victim of this. I mean, she met this bitch when she was like 12. And, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say that Jojo is completely inexcusable from the things that she's saying, basically victim blaming and saying that it's all a lie, etc. But I think at the same time, we should be a little bit more mindful about bashing her because, you know, she could be a victim. I'm still gonna, you know, say that this stuff that she's saying is insane and that she's definitely saying all of the wrong things and really being a butt right now with saying these things that... Trisha Paytas also made a video about this, saying that she also thinks that Jojo is still being manipulated and, like, told what to say, etc. by Colleen. They're definitely still in touch. I mean, Trisha herself is like, if Trisha looks sane in this situation, then, like, what are we doing here? Like, seriously. I think Jojo is a weird character. Not character, like, she grew up making videos from 12 years old. She grew up on an absolute, like, on a TV show. She herself has probably, like, issues with growing up on TV shows and, like, on the internet and stuff. And, you know, in that case, I sympathize, but, you know, I feel like now that she's, like, so much older, she's doing weird stuff, I guess. I don't know.
A very strong YouTuber, and I idolize that, you know? And so throughout our friendship, we probably filmed 100 videos together, and she's cool, you know? And I think the problem is the internet was able to capitalize off of her cancellation. And
is that a problem? Is that really, like, the main problem here? The fact that people were capitalizing off of her cancellation? Is that truly, like, a third world problem right now? No! That doesn't mean shit, dude! That doesn't mean dog f***ing shit. You know what? Colleen was also capitalizing off her own goddamn cancellation. She made that ukulele apology video long enough to get monetized, to get paid. I mean, her video has, like, I don't even know, 1 million dislikes at this point, but even then, like, she is still capitalizing off of this. And it's only fair for other YouTubers, small YouTubers, or me, or I'm not even monetized yet, but other YouTubers have the right to capitalize off of someone who is a genuinely evil person. They have that right. And I don't think it's something that you have the right to criticize over and be like, oh, this is a problem. The problem is we had this person still probably manipulating you and still, you know, terrible shit. God, I can't repeat this enough. It's terrible. It's terrible shit.
And they still are, and they still are continuing to, and it's not okay because a lot of it is based off of lies, and it's...
What do you mean? The only lie that I can think of is a blackface thing. That is the only thing. And even then, that's not the main topic of conversation that these YouTubers are capitalizing off of. They are capitalizing off of the fact that they are talking about her and spreading the message of she's an absolute evil person. Almost all of these YouTubers, I'm guessing all, are talking about the situation because they need to. I mean, this is a very important conversation to have when it comes to adult relations to minors and her, like, spreading the message of the victims and getting the facts out there, etc. These are facts. These are not lies, Jojo. And I know that, like, Colleen is probably telling you that these are all lies, but open your eyes and listen to the victims. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, man. Like, seriously.
Well, it's a scary place when you put yourself, it was one thing, you know, I came to television, which is totally different. And I'm new to the internet, and I kind of found it through the kids, but it is a really, it's like a minefield.
It is.
And so you're doing television now. You're doing
Special Forces.
Special Forces. When does that premiere? On Fox?
So that premieres on Fox. That premieres on Fox.
I just watched the full Colleen Ballinger part. I got any context that I missed, and I still feel the same. And I still think that this is something that should not be happening and things that she should not be saying as an influencer. And another thing, and Jojo saying like, oh, we made like 100 like videos together. Like, people are looking back at these videos and they're weird as hell. They're weird as hell.
Next thing is you are not supposed to dress when you are dancing, and I can see your entire legs. Stop it! Hey, also, I'm just now realizing your shirt says milk all over it.
Do you not like
You drink milk?
Yes.
You know that comes from a private part?
Do you know that you drank milk when you were a kid?
No, I did not.
When you never were a
If my
kid?
mom tried to make me drink that, I would be like, get away, pervert. I'm not drinking that out of your private.
Whoa!
Whoa! Did you hurt your tukey?
What's a tukey?
Miranda Sings is like, why do you can't have porn on your legs, or like porn something, because her legs are showing. And so Miranda Sings gives her sweatpants so to cover the legs, saying that it's porn. And then later when Jojo does a split, Miranda is like, oh, didn't that hurt your tukey? And then Jojo is like, what's a tukey? And then Miranda Sings literally just points at like her own crotch, like, and like so many other weird ass things that you shouldn't be recording with someone that young. You shouldn't be, and you shouldn't be saying these weird things, like saying her having her legs out is pornography. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. It's not funny. It's not funny. Saying tukey instead of like vagina is also not funny. None of this is funny. I mean, obviously Jojo has like recorded so many videos with Miranda Sings, and there's so many instances where Miranda is sexualizing Jojo and saying sexual things around this young, impressionable person, and it's so wrong. It's so wrong, and I do think that Jojo is being influenced by Colleen still, and it makes me sad. My camera disconnected, so I'm sorry about that, but as I was saying, I think that this is a really complex situation, and you know, I feel like Jojo is in the morally gray. You know, there was like, right now I saw a lot of controversy over her ex and her relationship issues, and her being emotionally abusive to her ex, Avery, I think that's her name. And I'm not gonna like go into that right now. I feel like that I don't really have the right amount of information. I don't think I have really the ability or right to talk about it. I mean, it's on the internet. I mean, there's probably already people already talking about it, but I don't think Jojo is a amazing person. I think she's morally gray. I think she's definitely done a lot of bad things. I think Jojo has rose-colored glasses on, and she can't get them off. So I'm hoping that eventually they'll wear off, or we can convince her otherwise. Or maybe Colleen's not saying shit. Maybe she's not talking to Colleen. Maybe all the things that she's saying is exactly how she thinks. And at that point, I hope that like a couple days from now, or a week or a month or whatever, I hope that Jojo addresses this, because I don't think she has. And I'm gonna check. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think she has said anything. I don't think she has apologized. When she does, I might make a follow-up video seeing like what she says, but you know, who knows what will happen. I really feel very strongly about the situation, about Colleen Ballinger. I think she's actually so evil. And then there's a whole other thing about Colleen's ex-husband, you know, did an interview and with someone, I forget, I'm gonna put the name somewhere, and basically exposing a lot of his relationship with Colleen, and saying, and also apologizing himself, because he should have stopped these things, but he didn't. And I think I definitely direct you to that video if you want to know more about the relationship, what Colleen was behind the scenes, behind the camera more. And he actually says this thing where he says he got this stare all the time from Colleen. And I think that's important to say, because when you're in an abusive relationship, you learn the mannerisms of the abuser. It could be emotionally abusive, physically abusive, whatever. And they could look at you with a face that no one else in the goddamn world would know what they're thinking, but you do. You know what their eyes say. You know that in that moment they are looking at you and are criticizing you, It's scary. It's scary. And he addresses the fact that, you know, in the comments of the ukulele video, she's fucking creepy looking. Her stare, that stare. He says that people in the comments see the stare, something in her eyes that he has seen on a daily basis of something in her eyes looking evilly. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, just malicious. And I feel for him. You know, he himself obviously made mistakes not stopping the things that he could have, and he himself has already addressed and apologized. I think that, you know, that's very important. I'm glad that he has spoken up about Colleen and stuff. And I'm glad that he is saying that all this stuff is not a lie, that this stuff definitely happened. I think it's very important. So I'll direct the video to the husband's interview in the description as well. I'll also link to the Howie Mandel podcast if you want to like watch that yourself. I'll link to a couple of the Miranda Sings YouTube videos with Jojo Siwa that are weird, or the twerk video, etc. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. We'll just see what happens, because this is crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know. Sorry this was a bit serious, and sorry I swore so much. I'm gonna bleep out a lot of them because like I'm very new to this, and I know that like there is like rules for YouTube for the swearing. So sorry, there's gonna be a lot of bleeps in this. I'm sorry. Let me know your opinions and your thoughts on Jojo Siwa, if we should sympathize, because I feel like her situation is complicated. I also, no matter what, even if Colleen is manipulating her, she's still, you know, she should still be held accountable for the things that she's saying in this podcast, because it affects and, you know, is terrible. And so yeah, see you guys in the next video. And sorry this was a little serious. I'm very passionate about this topic because, you know, it's very important to talk about this stuff. And I mean, Colleen Ballinger and Adam and all the other victims, I feel so bad for Adam and all the other victims. Like, seriously, the things that they went through are not okay. And Colleen, I seriously hope and I wish that she is federally charged for the things that she's done, because they are applicable. And I'll see you guys later. This is like ending in like a low tone. I'm sorry. It's hard to be like, wow, when we're talking about something that's very serious. Just let me know what you think. And if you guys like this content, like talking and like showing you guys things and kind of reacting to it, I might continue doing this sort of format in the future. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and you guys have a nice day, night, whatever. Bye.